What's going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, giofvcks here. And I'm responding to the controversy with Kirk Franklin cussing out his adult 33-year-old son. And I personally did not listen to the audio. I haven't watched it, listened to it. I just have seen some of the commentary and hearing about it on Twitter and looking at the different tweets and threads, and then hearing my personal friends discuss it on their Facebook. And then I just watched Walter Lee Hampton II's his commentary on it. And you know, again, I've talked about this numerous times on my YouTube channel when I'm discussing narcissistic relationships, narcissistic abuse, narcissistic parents, especially within the Black community, with narcissistic fathers and mothers. And this is a prime example of narcissistic abuse / verbal and mental abuse. That's all this is. And it's really sad how it's normalized within society, and then it is definitely normalized inside the Black community. So many of us are adults still being cussed out, disrespected, chewed out, belittled, just completely degraded, like, you know, by our so-called parents, our so-called guardians, our so-called family members. I mean, growing up, and even now, I talk about it all the time on my channel, it doesn't happen as often as it used to because I relocated and I put healthy boundaries and I practice the love from a distance approach and hybrid no contact. You know, but I mean, at any given time, my grandmother will verbally assault every member in the family. You know, I mean, like I said, and so many people in the Black community, you know, it's normalized. Y'all think this is normal to be talking to people like this, especially talking to your children and your so-called family members. And then, you're right, because I know people are going to say this, well, we don't know the whole story. You're absolutely correct. You are right. We don't know the whole story. So we don't know what led up to this argument. We don't know what led up to this argument being recorded and captured. But I know off rip, this is the typical Black household. This is the typical household. This is the typical religious household. Okay? And no, everybody cusses. I cuss, I curse. But I do not talk to people that I care about like this. I don't care how, and I'm learning, and I had to unlearn, because I grew up in a household where if somebody had an issue with you, there was an argument, there was some grievances between individuals. I grew up seeing people verbally assault each other every single day, like, just, you know, and trigger warning, I'm about to give examples of what I grew up listening to. There are curse words, it's profanity, it's disrespectful, it's bad. Trigger warning. Okay, so I grew up listening to "Get your black ass in here, you nappy-headed wench. Oh, you no good nigga, you ain't about to be shit, you ain't never gonna be shit." I mean, just being dragged for filth. You know, get your monkey head ass up in here. Okay? I mean, it's constant disrespect. And then they wonder why so many of us in the Black community, we don't have self-esteem, we don't have self-confidence, we don't have a sense of self-worth. And then as you grow up, because you grew up listening to your parents and family members behave like this, you unfortunately are a product of your environment. And for many of us, we think that's normal. So we grow up participating in the same toxic, dysfunctional behaviors. So that's how adults are acting when it comes to conflict resolution. There is no conflict resolution. A lot of times it's just verbal altercations, cussing people out, name calling, disrespecting, belittling, dragging for filth, while also having this, while also trying to portray that you're some holier than thou person. And again, this is how a lot of these, and I'm going to say it, how a lot of these fake ass holier than thou religious folks are. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer. I believe in a higher power. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not a Christian. I grew up in a Kojic household. Kojic, C-O-G-I-C, acronym, Kojic, Church of God in Christ, aka cult, aka never again, aka where a lot of abuse started, where it all started, while I'm still healing from it years later at almost 30. So anyways, and that's just my experience. I can't speak for everybody, but I do know a lot of us that grew up in it that are still healing from it. Let's just say that, okay? But this is normalized, and then like I said, with narcissism, it's the multiple personalities, okay? The person want to have this holier than thou, I can do no wrong, I'm perfect, I'm sweet, I'm caring, I'm loving, I'm compassionate. But then those of us that actually know these people behind closed doors, who actually get the real person after they take off that mask, after they do away with that fake ass personality that they put on when they go outside in the public, yeah, we know all too well how they really are behind closed doors because we live with them. So I can also see one of the many reasons why this audio of him cussing his son out was recorded, because a lot of times people don't believe you until you can provide them with proof, even though you're telling them over and over, this person really treats me like shit. But don't nobody want to believe that. Like I said, the narcissism, the disrespect, okay, the verbal abuse, the mental abuse, and again, like Walter Lee Hampton II provided, we don't know what type of mental health issues, problems, or what their mental health status is between Kirk Franklin and his son and his father, Kirk Franklin. We don't know. But again, ain't it funny how we can look at mental health as a problem elsewhere, but we can't never pinpoint it when it's a problem in our own communities, in our own families, in our own individual lives. And a lot of black people, we have severe mental health problems. We are suffering from severe trauma, and it's generational. That's why so many of us think it's okay to sit up here and cuss each other out, disrespect each other, degrade, and then we have a bigger society that we are a part of, because at the end of the day, what's going on in the black community is literally just a smaller symptom of what's the larger problem is within the global world, in society. Okay, because we live in a narcissistic society. You got white supremacy constantly degrading you, belittling you, telling you you ain't about to amount to shit. Again, you are what you're products of your environment. You got the whole world telling you that you're inferior and that you ain't about shit. You're soaking that in, you're believing it, and you're projecting it off on your own people. You're projecting it off on each other. And like I said, it's generational cycle. So a lot of us grew up getting cussed out like that. Still being cussed out. Like I said, I'm 28, almost 29. Lord willing, universe willing, ancestor willing, come October of 2021. If I make it there, I'll be 29. So I'm nearly 30, and I know I still be getting cussed out severely by my grandmother. But think about it though, my mother don't do that. My mother don't do that. And you know something? My uncle don't do that to me either. Because like I said, we all know too well how that is. And I had to catch myself. And this is where the transparency comes in. Because I'm not perfect and never claimed to be. I used to think that was okay. I mean, yes, it hurt me. It hurt me to hear that shit. But I used to think that was, that's just how that's how you deal with people. When people cross you or you got a problem, you go in on them. You drag them for filth. That's what I was around, taught, shown. So I used to also do that to other people when I was fed up. And a lot of this a lot of this is narcissistic abuse, and it's passive aggressive. Because a lot of times, instead of addressing the person then and there, when the problem occurs, you're allowing shit to pick up. You're allowing stuff to slide. So over time, you ain't said nothing. You quiet. You keeping it to yourself, or you mumbling shit under your breath instead of telling that person, hey man, hey girl, hey person, look, this ain't that. I wasn't feeling this, and this is where you got me messed up. How can we work to make sure this doesn't happen again? Like, instead of us having healthy conflict resolution skills, healthy communication skills, you feel me, healthy relationships, functional relationships, we go right into, but that's because that's what we were taught and shown. We, like I said before in many other videos, we tend to repeat cycles. And that's what a lot of us are doing. It's a cycle repeat. You grew up doing it. Your mama did it to you. Your daddy did it to you. Your family did it to you. So you doing it to your kids. You doing it to your significant other. You doing it to your friends. And it comes a time, and this is why I'm always stressing therapy and counseling. It comes a time where we are getting too old to continue to do the same things over and over and over and over again. We see that it's not working. We see that it's detrimental. We see that it's causing pain and suffering and problems. We see that nothing is producing of this that's of quality, that is of good. And it's like, once you know better, you need to start doing better. So again, I'm going to recommend therapy and counseling. Me personally, nah, I don't condone it. And I don't have children. That's right. I don't. And again, we don't know what type of relationship that his son has with his father and the father has with his son, that they have with each other. We don't know. No telling what has really gone on, what has gone, because a lot of us, let's be real, you only get a surface level of what a lot of people have gone through. Because if you heard the ultimate bare naked truth behind many of our faces, a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to fathom what people have gone through, what pain and suffering they've endured. And you wouldn't be able to imagine what horrible acts and behaviors we have done to others, and vice versa. I'm just being real. So like I said, we don't know. But I know this. That type of behavior, I'm not for that. Will this person get over? Jesus. That type of behavior, I'm not for that. That I'm definitely not for. Because and then two, if they think that's okay, do realize if you get in a relationship with those types of people, like a romantic relationship, a platonic relationship, that's how they're going to do you when they have issues. So if they think cussing people out, disrespecting folks, belittling folks, you ain't shit, you dumb bitch, you dumb nigga, all this other shit, you mother effer, boom, 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 dragging you for filth, they think that's okay. Oh, that's how I grew up, da 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 da. No, when they have a problem with you, that's how they gonna come at you. Like I said, you gotta start looking at the red flags. You gotta start looking at the red flags. And what have we been saying for almost 2 years? Red flags or hell no's. So that's all I got to see. You think that's okay? Okay. Healthy boundaries, love from a distance, because I don't have time for that. I grew up in that mess. I don't have time for it. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. Y'all stay safe. Stay masked up. Get your vaccine if you can and you want to. Get it. Wash your hands. Stay 6 feet apart. Be safe. Sending y'all love and peace. I'm out.